Good morning, everybody, and you're really welcome to our second day of our virtual career series. And today it's business and retail. And we're absolutely delighted to be joined by Enterprise and Colin Patton from Enterprise, who also attended yesterday. It was one of the more interesting presentations, most definitely. Everybody enjoyed it, and there was great feedback from the students. So we're really looking forward to your second presentation, Colin. You're on your own today, so a bit more pressure, but I'm sure you'll get through it okay. And just to thank Colin, who's moved down to his brother-in-law's house because his internet connection is a bit unstable in his own house at the minute. So we do appreciate you moving just to facilitate us today, Colin. So if you have any questions, pop them into the chat. I have a couple of questions here already for Colin from yesterday's presentation, so we'll go through those at the end. But without further ado, Colin, take it away, and it's really great to have you back to kick off today's event.
Firstly, thanks very much for having me, and thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm Colin Patton, so I'm a remarketing sales executive for Enterprise. 16 years now in January, so I've really made a career out of Enterprise. So I think it's just important to discuss, first of all, what I'm going to go through. So it's basically, I'm going to touch on what makes a great application. I'm in a position now where I'm going through sort of 100, 200 applications per week. So sort of touching on those things, that what makes a great application and the things to watch out for. And then also, why should you apply for Enterprise? I think that's quite important to go through those topics. But who am I really? So I can define myself by three things. First of all, family. Just had a daughter there, 8 months old. Another one on the way, so we didn't wait too long. But yeah, family's everything to me. I also have two dogs who are a big part of that family. I think that's what's really shaped me, in life and what I wanted to do. And I think Enterprise have really supported me with that as well. Secondly, cars. Big car fanatic, love cars. Not the reason I joined Enterprise. Don't be worrying. You don't need to be a car fanatic to rent cars, but love everything about them. And I've been blessed to have a couple of nice cars in my life, and I've driven thousands within Enterprise. Thirdly, more mountains. So yeah, very poor internet reception, but we've got stunning mountains to climb, especially with two large dogs that need exercised. And I just love where I live. I love Ireland. I love everything about it. So that's me in a nutshell. So first of all, we really want to just take some time to discuss what makes a great application. As I said, we do tend to get quite a lot of applications in on a daily basis, especially after these sort of events, and you really can tell the difference. And I think the one thing to remember is it's that first impression. Any company that's recruiting or has a constant recruitment process similar to ourselves are constantly screening applications. So it is quite important to think about, the factors that will impact a rejection or basically put you, further down the pile. The first one's probably, for me, one of the most important. As I say, I've worked for Enterprise for 16 years, and I am pretty proud of the company I work for and the culture they have. So lack of overall and specific company research, 14%, it is quite a big percentage. And if you think about the last family holiday you went on, or holiday with a group of friends, you probably spent the week researching the hotel, the facilities, what to do in the location. And that was for a week's holiday. This could be you applying for a job for the rest of your life, or the rest of your working life at least. So, we really want, I definitely want to see that people have done, even a small amount of research into what the company are and what their values are and what their mission statement is and what sort of work they'll do. And that obviously can all be gained online. So quite a big percentage there. The second one, spelling and grammar. I'm not great at this myself. I think technology has helped me slightly with spell checks, etc. But yes, if you've got anybody in your family who are a member of the grammar police, I would definitely get them involved in any application you have. But I suppose just take time to go through that application again. It is really that first impression again then. Because it's the first impression anybody's got of you. So yeah, just pay it a thought again. 21%, quite large. 36%, so the largest of our percentages, is unoriginal applications. This tends to be a little bit of an issue where you've got that scattergun approach. Let's just apply for everything. And again, you know, we really want people within our company. I feel that I speak for a lot of recruiters here, that we don't want people just to join our company for a few years. We want them forever. And so, you know, do you really want to be that person who is applying for everything and not matching it up with your specific skill set or what you see yourself doing, you know, obviously for the rest of your working life? Also on this one would be keep a note of what you've applied for. The number of people that I have an application from, and the first thing they say to me when I contact them is, yeah, tell me about that job again. You know, I've applied for so many. It just crushes my world instantly, because I really want to know why that person's applied for the job. And if their first question is sort of a recap of what that particular job is, it's not a great first impression. And then lastly, it's a minimum job requirement and experience. And I'll focus a little bit more on the experience of this one. I actually only yesterday had an application from a lady who wanted to start with us, but really played down her work experience. And I really felt that I was sort of jumping into more of a coaching bit of the interview there, because never play down part-time employment. You know, part-time employment shapes who you are, and if you are if you're balancing, you know, education, university degree with a part-time work, you know, regardless of what that is, that's such an important quality, and it's really one that we look for, that flexibility and that work ethic. So never play that down. And you know, you can only do what you can do. And if you're in part-time employment in a retail store or a cafe or whatever it may be, there's so many experiences and different things that you're dealing with on a daily basis, and balance and things that we're looking for. So never play that down. So yeah, it's just a wee few things to watch out for. But what about us then? So what about enterprise? So yeah, we are we set ourselves up in 1957, and our main goal was to be the best transportation provider. That's kind of evolved slightly in terms of mobility provider. So it's not, for us, it's not about the sort of generic thoughts of car rental, which is, you know, your American tourists coming over to visit different grave sites of their ancestors. You know, that's not what we do. It's such a small part of our business would be that holiday maker. The main part of our business would be mobility. So it would be supplying a product, which is a vehicle to get people from A to B. And that could be companies, that could be body shops and dealerships would probably be the main part of our customer base. So they'd be using us for their courtesy cars when their own cars are in for service and etc. But it is vast. You know, we've got a lot of corporate accounts on that we supply, you know, everything to. This next slide sort of represents that. So we do everything from a small car right up to refrigerated lorries, and it's really that mobility specialist. We also have a lot of tech in the background. So sometimes what we'll do is, for a company, for example, we'll use our technology to allow them to pick between different options. So it could be that they need a car for a full day. It could be that they need to take advantage of one of our car club cars, which would be that you would go with your sort of credit card, tap the window, car opens, use it for an hour and drop it off again whenever you're finished. But we've got so many different sort of sections of our business, and it's really just that aim to be the best mobility specialist. And with that, we have actually become the biggest, but that was never the goal. It was always just to be the best. I think for me, you know, why should I join enterprise? Like, you know, back 16 years ago, I joined enterprise because the company I was previously working for in a leadership role promoted everybody externally. You know, they thanked you for what you did. They thanked you for your hard work, but all the promotion was external, and it was a little bit demotivating. Within enterprise, we only promote from within. So everybody starts off at the management trainee position. But you can move into whatever part of the business you really want. And I've kind of done that myself, where I've moved into HR, I've moved into training, I've moved into car sales, and now I'm doing a little bit of talent acquisition in the recruitment process. But we don't feel that our candidates or our applicants are defined by their degree, and I think that's the most important thing here. A degree is important. If it's something you love, fantastic, but we don't define someone by it. Everybody has life experiences, and everybody has work experience and educational experience, and we're really looking for those people who actually want to run their own business. And the beauty of enterprise is you get to run your own business with someone else's money, which is obviously a lot less risk. But we want those entrepreneurs, we want those business people. Another thing that we're really proud of in enterprise is our diversity and inclusion. It really truly is central to everything we do. And of course, it makes perfect business sense as well. It's not the reason we do it, but it does make perfect business sense. If we can understand and embrace differences, and it really does promote that innovation. Let's face it, like our customers are so diverse. So it's very important for us to make sure that our workforce is, so it aligns with that nicely. And it also means that we can attract and retain the best talent, not just the talent in the sort of category that we are normally seen to be in, but we can actually attract and retain it from all walks of life. So that is extremely important to us, and I've shared some slides with you there and some pictures of the different events that we do. But anything to do with diversity and inclusion, we tend to be one of the front runners with that. Little bit more detailed, we have numerous different pledges that we have committed to. The 50 million tree pledge, we've been doing that ever since I joined enterprise. Fill Your Tank, another fantastic cause. But on a general note, we actually have within enterprise a foundation request. So every year I actually work with a lot of car dealers. So every year I put in probably about 6 or 7 foundation requests for those car dealers. So that is basically partnering with whichever charity they partner with, and making sure that we can get a donation. It's normally within sort of £1,000, £1,500. So if you're doing that 6 or 7 times a year, it really increases that relationship or builds that bond with that customer. But it also gives you little bit of positivity that you're helping, which is important. So where did it all begin? I won't bore you with the complete history of the company, but yeah, it started in 1957 with 7 cars actually. Now we're up to just shy actually. The slide's a little bit dated in terms of we've taken over quite a few companies there over the last couple of months, but we're about 2 million vehicles at the minute, which does make us the world's largest. 22.5 billion annual revenue, and probably more importantly is the amount of employees we have. So 80,000, and that's growing every day. And those are employees within our daily rental branches, so actually providing the vehicles and our services to the actual customer. And also we have a lot of different facets in the company, such as our HR, our IT departments, and we have a revenue management. So really looking to see what our competitors are doing and what the market's doing, and sort of changing that. Locations worldwide, and again, that just increases every single day, where we have taken over a lot of companies. We have helped a lot of companies that have been struggling, kept all of their employees on our payroll. And really, it's that focusing on being the best. It's not being the biggest, it's being the best mobility provider. And sometimes that means that if we take our truck business, when I started, we didn't have that. We then took over a company who were fantastic at it, kept all their employees on, made them enterprise employees, so that we can continue going forward with that. So what is important at enterprise? These would be our values. So again, I won't go through those individually, but our values would really be summarized by people. People is the most important thing for us. So that is our customer and our employees. So everything we do and every makeup and section of the company really focuses on those 2 things. We feel that if we look after our people, which is our customers and employees, profit and growth will follow, and it really has. So those are the sort of values that we, when we think about making a decision, and when I think about making a decision, even when I was sort of an area manager, I would think, right, well, if it doesn't fall within our values, then I really don't want to do it, because I've been put in charge of, my section of the company, but I have to hold true to the family of enterprise, because it is a family company. So in terms of an application, if it's something that excites you, which hopefully it does, how long is the application? So normally it would be a max a month. I've actually rarely seen it last a month. Normally about 2 weeks, because we're pretty keen to get people in sort of straight away. The process itself would be your online application, and at the end, I'll share with you a little code that you can scan. But it would be an online application. We do a virtual interview. Hopefully going back to face-to-face interviews, because that's the way we want to be definitely doing business. It's about people. But at the minute, it's virtual interview. We would do a branch visit where you would go to a branch and spend time with the area manager of that region. And really that's so that we make sure that you understand that enterprise is the right fit for you. It's no point us hiring people. Again, we're looking for people that want a career, that want this for all of their working life. And really, we want you to go and experience a branch and experience what it's like to be within a branch and within that culture. So that's quite an important section. And then it would be the management trainee program. Now, obviously with that, you've got the fact that everybody in our company starts off at that management trainee position. Normally we would say within a year we would want you to be completing that actual course and moving on to an assistant manager. As an assistant manager, you would be in charge of a team of people within a branch. You'd be doing everything from making sure you're driving the sales process, making sure you're coaching your team to provide that excellence. Like, we're not interested in good is good enough. It's got to be that excellence, because we want our customers to come back and rent from us again. And that's how we become the best. But also marketing, which is a part of the business that I really enjoy. So going out and again, letting our customers know, or our potential customers know, that we're not just a rental company. We're not just people who hire cars and vans. We're people that can help them improve their business and improve the mobility within their business. So yeah, after that point, you would then apply for a manager's job, and then you can go and really do whatever you want. In terms of my career story, I was a manager in Northern Ireland. I moved over to Edinburgh for a year to manage Edinburgh Airport. I then moved back and then into the training role. So I was training management trainees, I was training assistant managers. Then I moved back over to Scotland again, to do a little bit of area manager, and really with our locations, there's jobs posted every day, and you can do whatever you want really. It's really just matching your skill set. Everybody starts off at the management trainee position, and the reason why we actually do that is because we feel that our HR and our trainers and even our area managers, it's very hard for them to understand the business if they haven't lived it, and that's why we only promote from within, and you would start at that level so that you understand the business and understand what it's like to be with a customer and providing that service. Our salary, I feel, is quite competitive. There's obviously bonuses within there as well, incentives, but that would be the starting salary for a management trainee. Our assistant managers would be on in and around sort of 30, 40, depending on your performance, and branch managers would be 50, 60, again, depending on performance, because with enterprise, you get your basic salary, and then you get paid a percentage of the profits of the branch. So the more successful your branch is, the more money you will earn. So I think it's very important. And again, it's that ethos of running your own business. So how will I be assessed? Hugely important, this one, in terms of we don't do anything different to a lot of other recruiters. These aren't linked to any sort of importance, or levels of importance, but these would be the 6 factors. So customer service, communication, work ethic, flexibility, sales, and then leadership. And again, we're not looking for people with massive amounts of experience in that leadership. Everything can be taught and everything can be coached. And really, that's why within that management trainee position, you'll probably move branches, so that you'll experience different leadership styles and different leadership from different leaders. But yes, we really feel that everything can be taught and coached through the different classes, and then the on-site work that you'll be doing within the branches. And that kind of ends it for me. I wanted to allow a little bit of time for questions, but if it was of interest to you, this is our code for you to scan. It'll give you the ability to go through the slides in a little bit more detail, find out a little bit more information. There also is a competition at the minute on, so you can win yourself £50 worth of vouchers, which I could do with at the minute as well, coming up to Christmas. But yeah, if of interest, you can use that, or you can contact myself on LinkedIn, or Graham as well, which I think his details will come up as well. So thank you very much for your time, and yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Brilliant, Colin. Thanks so much again. Really interesting to hear your own story, which I think will resonate with a number of students. Just for those who are maybe watching in the class and can't see that code, and they definitely won't be able to see it now because I've minimized it, what we might do is you can watch it back on demand, actually. So you can sort of fast forward. I'm saying you won't want to listen to what Colin has had to say already again, but you can get to this point by moving forward through the video. So I might just pop that up just for a couple of seconds again. So that's the code there for people who may just need to scan that in. We would encourage you all to do that because I think there's an interesting PDF as well, Colin. I think you said yesterday. Yes. Around the job application process. So yes, really good. And we have a couple of students who attended yesterday, who watched it after the live event. So I might just run through some of these because some of the students, they might be relevant to the guys who are in here now as well. Yeah. One tricky one, but I'm going to ask it because it'll be interesting to get your take on it. Yeah. With the move to electric vehicles, how will that shape your business model and the business over the next 20 years? And that's probably somebody doing a project, but I think it's a really interesting question.
Yeah, a fantastic question. And in actual fact, it's a question that we've been asking ourselves probably for the past 5 or 6 years, which sounds strange because electric vehicles have really only come into the market over the past couple of years. So it's a brilliant question because it's about sustainability, and that has been really important to us. Now we as a company have a fantastic relationship with manufacturers of cars. I'm actually, the majority of my job would be within that in terms of selling cars to different dealerships. We've got a brilliant buy with them, and really, like by 2030. The only new car you'll be able to get is going to be an electric vehicle. So we've invested a lot of time in that. We've invested a lot of time in our infrastructure. Our branches tend to be within, our claim to fame is they're within sort of 90 miles of every location. And so we've already set up charging points within those branches. And we've invested a lot of time and money helping the manufacturer get those vehicles into the market, and you can really see the difference there. Like our fleet has, especially our commercial fleet, has drastically improved in terms of electric vans. But also, I think one thing to note with that is the fact that, you know, for example, I'm getting an electric vehicle next week, and it's going to have a 150-mile range. Well, that's fine for a daily commute. That's fine for short distances. But whenever I want to go for a long distance, whenever I want to go for a family holiday or whatever it may be, that 150 miles is not going to work for me. Mm-hmm. So what do I do? Well, I really obviously I work here, so it'll be a little bit more reasonable for me. But really, what I need to do is go to a company similar to Enterprise and hire a car for that trip. And a lot of the car manufacturers are working with us on that, where they're selling. Let's take BMW, for example, are really going after their electric vehicle sales. They're giving the customer information about ourselves as their business partners. The car's fantastic 90% of the time, but that 10% that you need to go for the longer journey, please use Enterprise with a preferred rate. So I think we're covering quite a lot of angles there with that, because we're embracing that change.
Brilliant. No, it's really, really useful and a really good question. Another one here, and then I see one in the chat as well. Okay, so as a trainee, and you've discussed the salary scale, and you're very open about that, and that's great. And I think Graham said yesterday that was really important. He felt that was to be open about the salary, and it's obviously probably uncapped depending on your sales ability. As a trainee, though, how is your performance measured outside of numbers from sales?
Okay, yeah. So your performance is measured in terms of quite a lot of times in terms of the amount of extra work that you take on, and what I mean by that is that we should always aspire to be doing the job of the next level. So doing the job of the assistant manager, then when you're assistant manager, doing the job of the manager, and that is important to us. Like we don't. It's not for us. It's, again, I'll go back to our values. Our our mission is not to be the biggest. It's not to generate the most amount of revenue. Our job is to delight customers and develop each other. And we give our employees awful lot of kudos whenever they come for that management position. If, say, for example, like something as simple as a customer has emailed in about them, that is gold in an assistant manager or manager interview. You know, one letter or one email or one positive review online specifically towards you is exactly what we're looking for, because that's you delighting a customer, and that's what we want our leaders to do. We want them to inspire their employees to delight. So our interviews aren't number based. They're not, obviously the number gets them there, and we truly believe in the pie. So performance, you know, experience, and then your image or your corporate image, and that is quite important to us. The performance section for us in any recruitment. So when I was an area manager hiring managers, performance would be important, but it wouldn't be the most important. An employee's exposure to other things outside of enterprise, things within enterprise, and getting involved in the charity work we do, etc., was really important in their brand themselves. So if they're the person that, you know, really coaches other employees, then they would be the people I'd look for management positions.
Perfect. Just one in there from Catherine. Any tips on how to make the most of part-time work or college work on applications and CVs?
Yeah, for me, just again, don't play it down. You know, when I applied for enterprise, I had just come out of working in a sports store, JJB in Belfast, and I actually quoted this to an applicant yesterday. You know, the first job I went for was actually car sales within quite a big dealership network, and the interviewer made me feel so small just because he was constantly saying about, so what did you sell in JJB? And I was saying I was selling shoe protection products, and he made me feel as if, but he kind of pushed me that much that I said to him, you know, I didn't have cars to sell within a sports store. It just did. So don't play it down. Like I sold what I was given, and I was quite successful at selling it. So don't play any of that down. I think it's really important to big up the fact that you have done part-time, and you've been involved in part-time employment whilst at university, and really everything from providing a service to a customer, from listening to customers, from dealing with customers' complaints. That happens in every business, and resolving the complaints that happens in every business. So no matter how big or how small, I think it's just really important to put it down, and for me, focus on what you've learned from the experience. So quite a lot of times I'll use the STAR method for that. So what was the situation, the task, the action, the result? And no matter what company, how big or small you're working for, you've always got those experiences and what you've learned from it and how it shaped you, and really promote that within your review or your application.
Yeah, students should familiarize themselves with the STAR or STA or an extra or at the end for reflection, as you've said. Yeah. And that's really useful for application forms, as you know, Colin, because you're looking at them all the time. I have one final question, and another interesting one. So you've mentioned coaching a couple of times during the course of this presentation.
Yeah.
And what level of responsibility could a trainee expect? Maybe not initially, but maybe after, as you said, 2 to 3 years in relation to leadership and coaching and mentoring other people through.
Yeah, so well, as an assistant manager, you're going to have a team of at least 6 or 7 people that you will be coaching, because again, it's a cycle, and it's a continuous cycle. So whenever you get to the stage of assistant manager after a year, you probably will have 5 or 6 people that have joined the company, because we're constantly increasing in size. When I started in Northern Ireland, we had 3 locations. We now have 9. So you know, there's that constant amount of people coming through. We also quite like mentoring of people from our MTs or assistant managers from different locations. So maybe you would have, even different countries. For example, I'm mentoring a guy from Germany at the minute, because he's starting into the talent acquisition role. So there's constantly opportunities to do that, and I think coaching and mentoring is extremely important, because you'll get like I get more out of mentoring than quite a lot of people that I mentor, in my opinion. We also do a lot of external ones. So I'm on the Enactus mentoring program. So we mentor Enactus members, and Enterprise free up so much time for that. So if you've got any external mentoring or coaching going on, then we will free up time so that you can do that. But coaching happens on a daily basis for us. It's really just depends on the day.
We are bang on the button at 10 o'clock, Colin. Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation again. And just encourage students to apply. It sounds like a fantastic opportunity for anybody from any discipline, really. So we'd just like to thank yourself, Colin, and Enterprise again for coming to our both days, Wednesday and Thursday. It's really appreciated. And we will be in touch, and I'm sure students will be in touch as well.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
No problem, Colin. Take care.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.